This might quite possibly be the dumbest idea that I've had to date. We are taking something that is a beloved summertime classic, a staple at every barbecue, cookout, pool party. We are turning it into something with surface of the sun level heat and destructive power only comparable to Chernobyl. Today we are making the hottest corn in the world. What we're making today clocks in at a record-breaking 100 million Scoville units. It's not that hot. But I'm doing, like, I already did the thing. Can we just, like, you know? All right, I have no idea what the Scoville unit level is, but it's gonna be brutal. At the base of this recipe is something that you may or may not be familiar with, elote. If you've somehow missed this trend, elote is Mexican-style corn on the cob. First, the corn is grilled. Then it is slathered with a delicious combination of mayo and sour cream, topped with salty cotija cheese, dusted ever so slightly in chili powder, and then finished with the perfect squeeze of lime. But to make this the hottest corn in the world, we have to take every layer that is elote and make it as spicy as humanly possible. All right, so here's the thing that separates this video from a lot of the other spicy recipes. Because when all is said and done, I still want this to taste as good as possible. So we're gonna start with the best possible corn that money can buy. And here in Colorado, that is Olathe sweet corn. If you've never heard of it, I don't blame you one bit. Olathe is a small town in the Rocky Mountains, not too far from Grand Junction, which is Colorado's wine country, or Palisade, which is where some of the best peaches are grown. Sorry, Georgia. And because it's in the mountains, the weather there is very unpredictable and they can have 50-degree temperature swings, which is believed to make the corn extra sweet and sugary. Typically, as soon as corn is picked, all of those delicious sugars in the kernels start turning into starches. But in Olathe, within 20 minutes of the corn being harvested, it's immediately chilled down and kept refrigerated all the way to the store, making sure that all of those delicious kernels stay as sugary sweet as possible. So it is the perfect canvas to somewhat kind of maybe balance all of the ridiculous spiciness we're gonna put on top of it. Before we mess with any of this, we're gonna make our mayo crema first. So get all this out of the way. We're gonna make this first because we can put this in the fridge and it can chill until we're ready to use it. So get yourself a bowl, take equal parts mayonnaise and sour cream. And by equal parts, I mean if you're using 1/3 of a cup mayonnaise, use 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. I'm gonna chop up some garlic. I've got 3 tiny cloves here. Make sure to chop it up nice and fine, along with a good big pinch of cilantro, also finely chopped. Then I've got 1 lime, which I'm gonna not only juice, but I'm gonna take the zest off the outside. If you have a microplane grater, they work really well. I would suggest to spend the extra money on these and get a good one. I took the cheaper route and this works terribly. This is the point where if you're making this at home, I would say just add a little bit of paprika, a little chili powder, and then call it a night because this is gonna turn south real quick. What I'm gonna do, since I don't need a giant batch of flaming hot crema, is I'm gonna split it in half. I'm putting half in here and I'm gonna keep it normal. Then the other half will be the half that meets Satan. This I'm gonna use for regular corn that will be delicious. This, not so much. You may be asking yourself, what am I gonna add to this to make it so terrible? Well, we're gonna add just a wee bit of Da Bomb Beyond Insanity hot sauce. This stuff lives up to the hype and it is insanely hot. The Da Bomb hot sauce clocks in at 136,000 Scoville units, which is 45 times hotter than a jalapeno, so I think a little bit is gonna go a long way. The thing about cooking is you gotta taste everything every step of the way, so make sure we got enough in there to bring some, yeah, okay. I don't think it's too much because this is just the tip of the iceberg. By the way, this is gonna be one of the least spicy things that we add to this recipe, so here we go, baby. All right, so sauce is done. Next step is cheese. You may be asking yourself, how are you gonna make cheese spicy? I have some Hatch green chilies. These ones in particular are the spiciest Hatch green chilies that you can get, and they range from about 1,500 Scoville units to 8,000 Scoville units. I'm gonna say that these ones are probably closer to that 8,000 range. But we're not just gonna add these just like it is, we gotta roast them. I did make a video on how to roast green chilies yourself, or if you wanna pick them yourself, they're in my Albuquerque video. I will put both of those in the description below, but I'll show you real quick how we're gonna do this. We're gonna get a grill as hot as we can and then throw the peppers right on top. If you don't have a grill, you can do this under the broiler. Just make sure to keep rotating the peppers every few minutes so they're nice and charred all the way around. Then when they look good, throw them in a bowl, Cover it with a lid or plastic wrap and let them steam for 15 minutes. The steaming is going to help the skins come off, and literally all you have to do is just pull the skins right off. After that, throw it on the counter and we're going to remove the stem, and then we're going to take the seeds out of here, so just split it right down the middle. You could use your hand or the back of a knife and just scrape those seeds right out. Whatever you do, don't rinse these underwater because then you'll lose a lot of that good grilled flavor. All right, so here I've got Cotija cheese. If you can't find Cotija cheese, you can use queso fresco. Cotija cheese is just a little saltier, so if you're using queso fresco, add a little bit more salt. We've got our chilies roasted and peeled. I got my food processor. If you don't have one, you can just do this by hand, it's fine. Throw in 1 chili. For the rest of these, I'm gonna set aside, use these on a burger or something later. I'm gonna give this a couple pulses just to break it up a little bit. Now it's chopped up. Now I'm gonna add, I don't know, 1/3 of this wheel of cheese. What you should have at the end is 50% cheese, 50% chilies. You shouldn't have any chunks that are way too big. They should be all nice and uniform, just like so. When you're ready to eat, grab your corn and we're going right back out to the grill. I like to just peel the husks back, throw them on there, and then let it go for about 2 to 4 minutes on each side, or until it's nice and charred all the way around. All right, as soon as that corn comes off the grill, now I like to rub it down with just a little bit of butter. I mean, I would like this. Why wouldn't the corn like this? Just gonna give it a little bit more flavor. Now, if you thought for a second that I was just gonna put some spicy mayonnaise and Hatch green chili cheese on top of some corn on the cob and call it the hottest in the world, you would have been sadly mistaken. I've seen a lot of people top elote with crushed Doritos or Taki chips or other fun junk foods, so why not continue on with that trend? I found a company out of Arizona. You may have seen them before in such videos as this one, where we try all the super spicy stuff. What I have here are cheese balls, but these cheese balls are coated with a special blend of Carolina Reaper powder that brings them to 2.2 million Scoville units. But not only that, he sent me another little surprise, an experimental 1-chip challenge that is supposedly hotter than the Pocky 1-chip challenge. I've got myself a little bag here, 1-chip challenge chip, put it in the bag, along with some cheese balls. Smashy, smashy. All the separate components are done, now we assemble. From this point forward, there is no turning back. We've got our corn, now slather it with that Da Bomb mayonnaise. Make sure to cover every inch of that cob. I am gonna dust this with just a tiny bit of chili powder because flavor, but that would not be spicy enough. So I happen to have a little bit of Carolina Grim Reaper powder. This is also lab tested at 2.2 million Scoville units, so why not just add a little tiny bit of that as the icing on the cake. We don't need to go crazy with the Reaper powder. We got plenty of heat coming. Next, nice big handful of our Cotija cheese goes on top. And finally, to finish it off, a couple spoonfuls of our crushed cheese balls. I present to you the hottest corn on the cob in the world. Got everything we needed here. Here's really hot corn on the cob. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It doesn't pay full price. Go ahead and like the video and I'll see you later. Well, I guess I gotta eat this now. And since I don't have gloves, I will use my trusty corn cob holder things. Procrastinate a little bit by squeezing on a little bit of lime. I really don't want to do this. All right. Cheers, I guess. Oh, it comes on right away. Whoa. I don't know why I took a second bite. The Cotija cheese is out of this world. You gotta make that at home. My whole face is burning. There's no way to eat it without getting it all over your lips. There you go, hottest corn on the cob in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Ooh, perfect timing. You like elote, right?
Yeah. What's up with you?
Nothing? It's got a little bit of a kick to it.
It's the stupid cheese balls. What else? You didn't even put water out here for me?
So fiery. You're so hot. Nothing works.